What's up, y'all? You are listening to For the Artists, a podcast brought to you by Creative and Projects. I'm your host, Melissa Cherie. We have another outstanding feature this week. I'm very excited. This is my bro, my friend. His name is GD Henderson. He also goes by DINK, and we can talk about that story later too. But he is a soprano, alto, and tenor saxophonist and percussionist. And he gets down, y'all. He's originally from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He started singing, okay, with his older brothers. If you ever come to his show, he will grace the mic with some tunes. But he started singing with his older brother at the age of 8, and he received his first saxophone at the age of 10. He attended Booker T. Washington High School in Tulsa, and he became the drum major of the T Connection Marching Band. After graduation, GD was awarded a music scholarship to attend Texas Southern University, where he became a member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. So if you're watching, you already know because he is repping right now. And I didn't even plan this, but I threw on some red earrings. So my energy just automatically was like twinning without even knowing it. He later became a drum major of the Texas Southern University's Ocean of Soul Marching Band. Now, listen, he majored in engineering and mathematics, so I'm going to tell y'all he's no fool, okay? He's smarts, and he got something going on upstairs, okay? He's currently an aerospace engineer, as well as the holder of not one, but 2 patents for his inventions. GD continues his love for playing music. He's been involved in marching bands, R&B, funk, jazz, and gospel bands, and he currently resides in Southern California. Okay, he constructed his own band, HD, the high definition band. We just performed. He allows me, y'all, to feature with him. I'm honored.
This was our
Uh,
show Friday, Saturday night. This was
Yep,
our show.
Saturday night in Long Beach. But he has an album called Facing Music. We'll talk about that. But anyway, what's up,
Hello,
Dink?
hello, LA and to the world.
LA into the world looking clean like always.
All right, all right.
First of all, where'd you get that style from? Let me ask you that, because you be styling whenever you're performing. You just clean. Where'd you get that from?
Well, I'm from Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they dressed on Black Wall Street back in the day. So I was watching my grandfather, my uncles, and my big brothers, and just kind of blended on there.
That's so cool, and you obviously loved it because you didn't let it go. You know, sometimes we do things when we're little, and then we like kind of shake it off. We're like, I ain't got to do that no more.
No, no, no.
No.
We still dress at our shows as well.
Yes. Okay. So you were singing back when you were 8. What were you singing?
Me and my brothers, we were doing Jackson 5 numbers and uh, all the silvers and DuBarge and stuff like that for all the way through high school.
All the way through high
We
school.
were actually on the state fair when I was 8 years old. We went all the way to the final round at the Oklahoma State Fair. And of course, we got second because we were singing to the record.
Oh my gosh, is that what happened?
Yeah, the little
That's what.
rich kids they had instruments, so they won the first
Mm.
place. That's when I told my mom buy me a saxophone.
Okay, so you just answered my next question. I was like, well, how'd you pick up the sax from singing? And that was it. You was salty and you was like, I need an instrument.
Well, in the 5th grade, that's when you start a school band. And I signed up, and saxophone was my choice. I started out on the alto, then I eventually picked up the tenor and the soprano.
5th grade. You know what? I just realized something because the 5th grade is when I started trying to play the violin, and I hated playing the violin. I did not like the sound of that instrument at all. It was too screechy for me.
Yeah, you play that through elementary and junior high, but when you get to high school, then you have to march. And
Mm.
that's when I joined the marching band. I
Okay,
was
so
I was originally an athlete, but I was too short for basketball and I didn't weigh enough for football. And I went to Booker T. Washington High School. You've been there. It's all kind of all Americans coming out of that school, and they win state championships every year. So I just said I'll just come out halftime. I joined the marching band.
yeah, that school does have a rich history. I'm like, wow.
Oh yeah, because I wouldn't have got a scholarship sitting on the bench. So I got a music scholarship with the marching band. Sure did. Yeah.
It's hard to believe so many people actually like live there. Like when you think about Tulsa, you think that it's in the middle of nowhere and who would live here, but it's a lot of people.
It's a mid-sized American city. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so let me ask you this. How hard was it for you to pick up the saxophone? Like when did it start to click for you where it was like, "Oh, shoot, I can play this pretty easily."
Saxophone is a really difficult instrument to play. It takes about 3 or 4 years to even just get good at it. I mean,
Mm.
you start out, you played Mary Had a Little Lamb and When the Saints Go Marching In, those band songs. But to get good and know your scales and improvise and solo, you need about 2 or 3 years, 4 years.
And how often were you practicing?
Oh, every day. Every day. I still do 2 hours a day.
What? You still practice 2 hours a day?
You have to keep your chops, because if your chops go loose, then you have to get it back again.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. You just got to keep it's just like going to the gym. It's a muscle. If you let the muscle get flabby, then you have to work it back in shape.
Now, come on, Dink. Come on. I need to know. There was no point in your life where you was like, you know what? I've had enough of this instrument. I'm gonna set it to the side. You've been blowing on that thing for. I mean, I know you're only 25, but I'm just saying, like, you've been blowing on that thing consistently, like
No,
since kind of.
this a thing when it's just a thing that counselors do at these universities. If you are on the football team, they automatically put you in physical education, or they put you in sociology. If
Mhm.
you're in a band, they automatically put you as a music major. And at my sophomore year in college, I went over to the administration and changed my major from music to electrical engineering and mathematics. And I pursued the career in engineering and mathematics, and that was a way to make a living. But I never put the horn down. I
Mm.
played for my church choir. I play weddings, do funerals, I do birthday parties. But in 2016, that's when I recorded the first album and constructed the high definition band, and we started touring. Yeah, in spring of 16.
Okay. Wow. So why music though? Like, what is it about music that stirs you up on the inside?
That's the love. That's the love. You have to keep something that makes you a kid in life. It keeps you young. It makes you a kid. I mean, I went all the way around in a circle, all the way 360 with engineering. I went over 20 years aerospace engineering. I worked for Space and Airborne Systems right here in El Segundo,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm all the way back to square one, like when I left high school, playing music every day. After 20 years of engineering and all this aerospace, I'm right back to like when I was in high school. Talent show, either practicing every day for a show or doing a show every day.
Mm-hmm.
So
So it's like returning what, like kind of like returning to your first love,
yeah,
or
like an old girlfriend.
like oh, you know what? We ain't gonna go
you
down
go,
that road.
you go make up with her.
So, who are some of your greatest inspirations in terms of music?
Oh, boy, basically everybody. All the Motown greats, of course, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, the Jackson Five, or Gladys Knight, and all the old. When I, as I grew older, I used to watch footage of all the old from the '40s and the '50s, and I watched Chuck Berry and Little Richard, Fats Domino, and James Brown from the old days. And I kind of, out of all the music, I love all music, even country western. If it doesn't hurt my ear, I can listen to it. But I kind of fell in love with James Brown and Parliament Funkadelic, and I was a funk kid
Mm-hmm.
when I grew up. I
You
went to all the funk shows, all of them, Barcades, Parliament, Bootsy, all of them. Earth 24, Gap Band. We were there. Me and my brother, we were at all the concerts.
Okay, so do you listen to, like, where they say the new hibbity hop? Do you listen to the new music that's coming out now, or do you just kind of stay in that lane of listening to what you love from
I
back in the day?
basically listen to myself.
Mm.
Um, I was told by one of the greats, Bobby Womack.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Listen to yourself. That's how you get great. Listen to your mistakes. Listen to the things you did good, did well. Keep those. Tighten up the mistakes. But if you don't record or somebody video on your shows, it's a struggle to grow as a musician. So I listen to myself. I listen to all the band guys and you, and I decide, what we're gonna keep and what we're gonna throw away.
You're like, yeah, that wasn't it. We ain't bringing that back to the next show.
But most of our songs are fire. If you ever come and see one of our shows, you'll know it's action packed.
Mm.
No dead spots in our shows.
I love what you just said in terms of you wanting to continue to grow as a musician, because that has nothing to do with age. It seems like sometimes when people, as they move along in life, they're not as concerned about growing in their craft or their skill or whatever it is. It's like, this is good enough. It brings me money or whatever, whatever, but not so with you.
When you get comfortable, you get lazy. When you get lazy, you get lax, and that's what happens. You have to stay hungry. You have to stay hungry. Everybody know Floyd Mayweather, the boxer.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's 50-0. So how do you get 50-0? If he could have quit at 25-0 and just
it's
like I've,
true.
I've done enough. But he said when he was an amateur fighter, he used to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and run his laps at 4 a.m. every morning. He
Mm-hmm.
said, only difference when I became a champion and I'm rich, he said the only difference is hard. It's very hard to get up when you got on silk pajamas and you're on silk sheets.
Silk pajamas and silk sheets.
when you struggling and hungry, you jump up. You want to become a champion. But when you're the
Mm,
champion, you got silk sheets, silk pajamas. It's even harder to get up there. But yeah,
yeah.
it's up every morning, and that's what I try to do every day. Get better and better. I mean, God sent us here with gifts, and He
Mm,
gives you a gift. And nobody's trash. Everybody's worth something. Nobody is worthless. And you find that gift, and everybody can do two or three things very well.
mm-hmm.
And if you go work at it, you could be really good. You work at it, you could be very good. You
Mm.
could be great. Or you could be grand, magnificent, amazing. And if you just get sick with it, like Jimi Hendrix and Kobe Bryant, just 6 hours a day, you
Yeah.
could be the best to ever done it. And that's where do you want to be on the scale? You want to just stop right here and be medium, or you want to get sick with it and be like Kobe or Jimi Hendrix? Because they said Jimmy, they say we're going to lunch, Jimmy. Jimmy's like, oh, y'all go ahead, bring me a sandwich. He's still playing 6 hours a day.
Mm.
That's why he's the best guitar player I've ever seen.
Yeah. 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you make it work when you was working full time as an engineer and still, keeping all this loose?
Uh, I'll still come home and do the 2 hours, but only way I can perform is on the weekends or nights,
Mm-hmm.
and I still have to get up early. So some of the nights, we used to do those Thursday night shows,
Mm-hmm.
and that was pretty rough. But most of the time, I try to get the weekend. So I was a evening and weekend performer and a full time engineer.
And now well, I was gonna say you switched it, but you didn't switch it. Not even doing the engineer.
Well, when my
Are
daughter
you?
graduated from UCLA, then I just went full time with music. I retired.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a full time musician now.
Full time musician. So how many albums do you got now?
We got 2 albums and two singles. And
Two
we're working
albums,
on the third.
two singles.
Yeah. This is the second one here.
Mm-hmm.
Funk, Sweat, and Tears. You can pick it up online. You can stream it, or you can go online and order your CD. Also, we have the USB flash drives.
Which are pretty dope.
Yeah, you just pop them out like that, and
Oh,
then that's a
okay.
flash. Yeah, and you put that. So we have both.
Now you write the lyrics for your stuff.
I
You
write
you
everything, the
you're
music, the lyrics,
yeah,
everything.
you do it all. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
That's like, hello. Where do you get the inspiration from for writing these songs? Like, what was the inspiration for that album you just had up? Funk, Sweat, and Tears.
Just a sign of the times. It's not a good time to, be writing all the booty shaking songs right now. Every song on there has a message. It has some kind of meaning. If you listen to Funk, Sweat, and Tears, every song on there has the meaning. We have some really feel good songs on there, but most of them are message songs, protest songs. 2020 is when we started, so it was the world was in shams. So
The
we're trying to
world
do,
was in shams.
still is.
And when you was growing up, the world was in shams.
Yeah, yeah. And Marvin Gaye was writing the songs then. But I usually start with a beat, because I play drums, I play guitar, I play piano. So I start with a beat, get a bass line, come up with a chorus part. And then when I get to the studio, I let someone do it who does it for a living. I teach I teach the drummer the drum part. I teach the bass player the bass part, and then I teach the keyboard player the chords, and we go from there.
Okay, so Jake, when did you start playing all these other instruments?
Uh back in high school, I've been in so many bands, and one band I was in, we used to rehearse at my home,
Mm-hmm.
and in our den, they left all the instruments there, the drums, they left the keyboard, and we used to come back and rehearse. So they were gone. I learned how to play the drums, learned how to play it. But I didn't take any lessons. I just taught myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I learned how to play piano, drums, and guitar and bass.
But you obviously had an ear from playing the sax.
Well, the sax I was taught. I was
Mm.
taught. I took band classes and learned how to read the music and improvise and composition and all that. But everything else I just taught myself,
Mm-hmm.
learned and unlearned
Learned and
and
unlearned.
unlearned. Right. The people that just get it natural, they unlearn. They don't know how to read, but boy, woo, I know quite a few musicians, man. They're like aliens. They're just, woo, they
Mm.
they they just got it. They could just feel it out within seconds, just like that.
Dang. So where you heading with your music? What do you want to do?
Next stop is overseas. I want to go international with this because there's a lot of countries. I mean, I look at my sales online,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean Australia and Japan and Beijing and the Congo of Africa and the UK and Britain and Germany and the island. I mean, everybody's buying the music, and when you go out of this country, they appreciate music a little more. They
Mm-hmm.
love American music.
Mm.
And I'm going to go overseas and give it a shot and call for the band. So make sure you have your passports up to date. Make sure you have your passports up to date.
Make sure we got them up to
Oh,
date.
yeah, because as soon as I get over there, we're going to start looking at venues for concerts and hooking it up. So
Mm-hmm.
the word will be out soon as we do.
Okay. Okay. So, what has been the most difficult part of your journey as a musician?
Mm, the people,
The people? What people?
the people. I mean, on the journey, you got people that'll help you, then you got people that'll hate.
Mm.
And that's the part that I don't care too much about.
Mm-hmm. So, how did you deal with the haters?
I don't. I
Yeah.
don't go around. I don't go around anymore.
But you can spot them.
There's sometimes they're your family, they're your friends, they're your fraternity brothers, they're your co-workers, they're your church members. I mean,
Yeah.
Satan gets to everybody. That's his
Mm.
job, to
Mm-hmm.
stop you from where God wants to take you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's their job. Let them do their job. But I don't have to be around. because you are responsible for the people that hang around you. So
Mm-hmm.
if you say, oh, they did this to me, they did, no, you let them hang around you to hurt you. So I had to learn that.
You had to learn that from experience.
Just don't go around the negativity. I mean, you don't have to be an engineer to know positive energy charges your battery. Negative energy drains your battery. You're tired all the time. You're like headache. You're depressed, and you can't focus on your art. And
Yeah.
that's the job of the hater, to stop you from where you're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that support you, and the people that in your corner, and they're positive and they love your music, stay with them. Stay with
Mm.
them. Just stay with them. Because some
That's
people you met 5 years ago, 10 years ago, they more supportive than people I grew up in high school or childhood friends.
mm-hmm.
They're more supportive than them, and they've only known you 5 years.
Yeah.
and
That's
you and
crazy.
you would think the people that you've known the most would be in your corner. Some
Right.
of them are. Some of them are.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's a seesaw game.
Okay, that's some good wisdom. That's some good wisdom. I mean, because sometimes it's really just that simple. It's like, when artists are out here trying to figure out some stuff, it's like stick with what's simple, stay around the people that are positive.
Very seldom you will find a total stranger that you have a confrontation with, and
Mm,
ruin your day. Most of the time, it's the people you know. It's the people you
yeah, most of the time.
know. It's not a stranger.
Wow. So, all of your family's back in Tulsa or what?
So I have some family in Arizona, Kansas City, Oklahoma, and California. A few out here, but they're not in Los Angeles area.
Oh, okay. They got out of that could be a good thing. LA
But
got
I
out of
go
it.
home often, and we do concerts back in Oklahoma as well.
Yep. I mean, I have gone.
Yeah, we do those. We do concerts there. We,
Mm. What changes have you noticed in terms of community, in terms of what it was like when you were back there and you was a kid, and what it's like now, especially like with the music scene?
that's one of the reasons I moved out here, because you can do more with the music. It's more people, more opportunities, more studios. It's more recording. It's more writers. It's more artists. Oklahoma and Tulsa, they got maybe 3 or 4 studios, and that's the ones everyone goes to.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you know how it is. If you want to get into the business, you really basically got to go to New York or Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically where you got to
That's where it's popping. I
go.
mean, we might know how it is, but somebody listening might not know how it is. They
You can
might.
get it. You can get it going in other cities, but it's going to take you longer and more money. Out here, you can just jump right into it. It's enough money out here to go around.
Yeah, let's talk about the money for a second because it costs you to put those albums out, you
Yeah,
know?
if you're a musician, you must learn the business of music. I
Mm,
mean, all of my things I record, they're copyrighted, they're published, and they're on a shelf, and we're protected from anybody. I mean, the union, the royalties, the organization that supplies your publishing rights, all that's protected if you do it right. Because musicians, they put this stuff out here and they get it stole, or they sign with someone and it's a bad contract or a bad company. The company's out of business. They own all the publishing. So you have to watch what you sign.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Read every line, read every paragraph, read everything.
Yeah.
Because you basically sign in a way. Because a lot of artists don't know, if you're the author of a copyrighted song, the copyright is good for 100 years after the author dies. So that means my great grandkids can still get royalties off of that music. But we don't own the publishing. The record company usually own the publishing, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where the money is, publishing. Because once they stop buying the album, you can make a lot of money off of album sales, but after about a year, nobody buys the album no more. So that tops out. But publishing is always there. Like every year this tax season, we just had tax season.
Mm-hmm.
You hear the H&R Block commercial?
Mm-hmm.
Money, 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 money. That's the OJs from the 70s. Now, who owns that publishing? Do the OJs get that money every tax season? I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. They should. It's
Yeah.
their song. They wrote it.
Right.
But that's the key is publishing, and copyright. Make sure you have it.
Yeah. So you do it all yourself, or you got some? You got
Oh
your
no, I
right
do
hand
it.
helping you.
I do it. It's all through Henderson Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We own all the copyright, all the publishing.
All right. All right.
Unless I do a joint song, like the song we did with Jodeci on this album.
Mm-hmm.
On this new album, I did a song uh, by Jodeci. It's a remake, Come and Talk to Me. And that, I pay royalties on that, and we share the publishing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different way you do it.
Yeah, which that's so dope that you were able to get them to give you permission to do that. I mean, is that unusual or is that pretty commonplace?
Well, would you turn down free money? Well, unless you're scared or afraid that they're going to blow your song and make it a mess. They're going to make it a mess. But if you think they're going to do a good job, it's
Yeah.
nothing but money in your pocket. They have to pay you.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't steal, I borrow.
I don't steal, I borrow.
Then I'll pay them royalties. I'll pay the royalties up front. You have to. I mean, because they're going to catch you. Then you got to pay lawyer fees, court fees, and you still got to pay them the royalties. So if you use somebody's stuff, just go get the contract and sign it and share the money with them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. We see you. We see you with that hat and that bow tie and that Malcolm. You can see Malcolm X behind you too.
There's Malcolm. There's Malcolm.
Yes.
I don't
So
want to.
is he one of your inspirations too?
uh, I love the Nation of Islam. I love what they do with our young men. But
Mm,
sometimes these Christian churches, they kind of abandon these young men after they get out of prison or after they was involved in a life of crime.
yeah.
They, you know, the Nation of Islam, they give these guys a chance. They clean
Mm,
them up, suit them and boot them, and make them soldiers.
mm-hmm.
But I'm not Muslim, but I understand.
You say, yeah, I'm not Muslim, but you understand.
Oh no, I
Well,
give credit what credit is due. I don't
mm,
hate. I don't hate.
well, I was listening. Somebody was on a live yesterday, and it was a brother, and he was telling his story. He did something, and he was supposed to go to jail for it, and he basically got vulnerable. Was talking to the judge, and instead of being faced with like 20 years, he ended up getting two. But while he was in there, he basically started kind of like mentoring and taking other young men up,
Hmm.
under his wing.
Hmm.
And now like, that seems like that's his ministry. That's what he does is he makes sure that he takes care of,
But
other
yeah,
young men that are trying to find their way.
yeah. But the other religions should too. They
Mm,
should too. Because instead of just say, hey, well, he's a sinner and he's been to prison, and that's God said, he without a sin cast the first stone.
right.
So you're not supposed to point fingers.
And we all have sinned.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody exempt.
yeah, yeah.
Nobody. How do
It's
we
their
get out?
God too. It's not just your God, it's everybody's God.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yes. Okay, look at us taking a little turn.
Well, we go to church on you. Y'all want to play some songs?
Yeah, maybe you should do it. You gonna do a gospel album? You said R&B, funk. What else? You say jazz and gospel. So you got the jazz, the funk, and the R&B. Now, where's your gospel album at?
I'll play. You got to come to my church and hear us. Well, you came one time. We did a show. No, that was just one song you saw.
That was just one song. No, but I'm
Uh,
talking about in terms of you like doing a project, doing an album.
that's a possibility.
Okay.
To be like Kanye West that won't have to pay taxes on it.
He didn't have to pay taxes?
He declared his music gospel, then it's a nonprofit. If you declare
Mm.
gospel, it's nonprofit.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I sing gospel music, and how I did not know
But
that.
yeah, you don't pay tax. The church don't pay taxes. It's got nonprofit. They don't pay taxes.
That's interesting. I need to Google that. Okay, I need to Google it. I wonder if that's how he. No, he probably just asked for permission because he's got some samples in there, and I was like, they let you use that song?
Yeah, yeah. He
Like
he
God
he,
is.
he
I
did
love
it and
that
he
song.
classified
I
it. Yeah,
love
he
the
got it
old song.
classified. He got it classified as gospel, and that puts you in a different tax category.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
Okay.
business of music. The
The
business of
business of music. The
yeah.
business of music.
There's a book called that, written by Stevie Wonder. All artists should go read it.
What? I've never heard of this. Stevie
Yeah,
Wonder done wrote a business of music book.
yep, yep.
Oh my gosh.
Well, he was 13 when he had his first hit, so he should know.
He should know, but I didn't know he was dropping gems in book form.
Yeah, that was early 2000. I think he wrote that. Yeah, it's
Oh
just
my
about 20.
gosh.
It's about 20 years old.
I'm gonna have to look that up too. So
Yeah,
obviously you read it.
yeah.
Mm. Okay.
It's got some interesting knowledge, and you should know it, especially if you performing, publishing, and recording. You should read it.
Now, when did you know that you needed to also like be a businessman with your music? Did that come from something that happened, experience, or you just smart like that and was like, I need to know?
I grew up in Black Wall Street.
Oh yeah, you do
But
keep
we do
reminding me of that.
business for yourself, right? Right. Although we have family businesses,
Mm-hmm.
so it's just routine.
It's
Okay,
routine.
it's
It's
routine.
what you do. It's what
Yeah,
we do.
I call up and get the venues, and you know me. It's like we're going. Here's your plane ticket. Let's go.
Yes, I do appreciate that. Traveling with HD, traveling in HD. Okay, you're gonna have to get up your own plane.
We probably do that next time. You'll be surprised that the private jets, they're affordable, and
I
we don't
mean,
have to go through the airport this time.
yeah, I've
Hopefully,
heard that from a friend.
but we get our own jet. We
Hmm.
put high definition on the wing.
That's what I'm saying. High definition. You can get it wrapped like you know how they wrap your car. Oh my goodness.
Boy,
Well, so today, what was I was like a day in the life of Dink. What was it like today?
ah, get up, breakfast, workout, and start the business. Start my music. Do the whatever it takes. Running errands, going to the post office, mailing CDs, mailing documents, whatever it takes.
So Dink, you never get do you ever get discouraged?
Uh,
I
of
mean, cuz you
course.
just you add it, you add it. I feel like I don't know, and maybe this is a stereotype, okay, because I'm a female. But I feel like being a male, I feel like there's such a responsibility as a male to like get things done, have it together, especially when you have a family. You know what I mean? You got a wife, you got a daughter,
Yeah.
and it's like it almost seems like you don't have time to even you don't have time to get discouraged. But I imagine that there has to be moments where you might be like, ah,
Oh yeah. Everybody has doubts. Everybody has doubts.
how do you overcome that?
Uh, I try not to. I mean, I don't even actually think about it. It's just drilled into me. There's
Mm-hmm.
a saying: if you wake up broke and you're laying in the bed,
Uh-huh.
what the hell you still laying there for?
Ooh, That's some good phrasing.
Laying there looking for the remote. It's like, no, get up. Go. A man is supposed to produce something every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's his job.
Okay.
Do something.
Yeah.
If it ain't nothing but cut the yard,
Mm-hmm.
you produce beauty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All these little isms. I'm just calling them isms, but it's like back in the day or like in certain areas, it's like there were all these phrases, there was so much wisdom in the phrases. Like what you just said,
hmm
like if you woke
hmm
up broken, you laying in the bed, why you still laying in the bed? It's like I feel like generate like as the generations go on, like we've lost some of that because it's not
yeah.
being repeated or passed
Everybody,
on.
everybody is. It's sad to say, but the television, the computers, and these phones are raising our kids. We're not talking to them anymore.
Mm.
They said the average family talks 38 minutes a day
Whoa.
to their kids. 38 minutes, the average. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's because they're on the phones. I mean, their head is stuck in the phone or on the computer, PlayStation, television, and kids don't go outside either.
That's true.
That's why we have the obesity in kids because they don't play outside. They got to. I don't ever see kids outside. It's
We
running
were
around in.
they're running around.
I mean, we were running in the street. We had softball in the street where the station wagon is first base, the truck is second base.
Yeah, we were similar. I mean, first we weren't even allowed to be in the house. It was like, no, go outside.
Stay
And the
outside,
door,
right?
the screen is locked until it's time for you to come back in. And then it's like, don't be out too late past the time you're supposed to come back in either. I
When the
was
street
like,
light come
dang.
on, when the street light come on.
But yeah, it's like I just want to come in and use the bathroom with some water. Make it quick and get back outside.
No, even in the summertime, stay out there. You're gonna let out my air conditioner. You're gonna let my air conditioner out. He said, I'm thirsty. I need to drink out the water hose. There's a water hose on the side of the house. Drink out
Yeah.
the water hose.
We gotta find ways to keep some of that stuff going. Bring it back if it's been lost.
Yeah, just take your kids to the park every now and then and
Hmm.
let them run. Let them climb a tree, fall down and hurt their knee, and get up and run again.
That almost sound like you was about to start rapping and singing in a song. So maybe that could be on your next album.
we just we just did a rap song at the concert last Saturday.
Which one? The country one?
No, Nelly and Kelly.
Oh,
That's a
yeah. Break them off some. Break them off some,
we
Dink.
broke them off a rap song. I got a song on this album called Rap and Sax Man. Check it out.
Rapping sax man.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm playing a rap on the saxophone.
You gonna give a little sample?
Uh, can you play? Can I play the music through this?
I mean, I've never tried it. You could probably try to put it up to your mic.
I don't have a. I don't
I
have a.
thought you was gonna give a live sample.
Oh no, I didn't. You didn't tell me to warm up the horns.
No, just do a rap with your voice.
Oh, the rap.
Don't you? First of all, I used to hate that when my mama used to be like, "Oh yeah, she's saying sing a song." It's like I don't want to sing a song.
Just make up one. Just make
Like
up.
I don't know. That's just not my personality. Like some people are running around and they're literally singing like some musical theater song like every 3 minutes. I love musical theater and I love to sing, but I don't feel like doing that every 3 minutes.
No, don't give your talent away for free. Just singing, walking down the street.
Yeah.
At least have your tip jar.
At least have your tip jar.
Hmm
I tried to do busking one time and it was a busk. Did I, t- did I tell you about that? My friend was like, let's do some busking over here in Pasadena. Mm-mm. We literally made like $8. And there was four of us, so we split it. So everybody got $2.
Mm.
I mean, I didn't really do it for the money, but it wasn't even a lot of people coming. It was just too much. Mm.
Mm-mm-mm.
But anyway, I digress. All right, Dink. So what else you want to tell us before we get ready to wrap it up?
Just go to my websites and see when the next time we're on tour and when I'm recording the next album.
And when you're recording the next album.
But after this fall, we're going to be doing another tour somewhere. So look out for it.
Look out for it. Okay. And you be having some radio connections. They be playing your songs on the radio.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your favorite song right now of the ones that you wrote?
Uh, Probably Funk a Day.
Funk a
I
Day?
got a song called Funk a Day. It's a Funk a Day is a holiday, a national holiday where we have funk all day from sun up to midnight.
Ah, I like it. I like it. You know
It's
what you
called Funk a Day. No breaks. No breaks.
Funk a Day.
All day. From sun up to midnight.
Okay.
Call the president. Need to be a national holiday. You got National Pancake Day. You got Secretary's Day. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have National Funk Day.
Hey, you need to make that happen for real.
It's on my album. Go
On Black
listen to
Wall
it.
Street, okay?
Yeah, we could do
Plan
that.
it. Funk a
Yeah,
Day.
Funk a Day. Go listen to it. It's on the album. Funk a Day.
All right. All right. So before we get ready to wrap, why don't you shout out your Twitter, your Facebook? Are you even on Instagram? Shout out your website, like all
Yeah,
that
the
stuff.
website is gdhenderson.org. My Twitter is Gil D. Henderson. And my website is gdhenderson.org. My Facebook is GD Henderson as well. So
Okay.
between Twitter, Facebook, website, and the publications, you should be able to find what we're doing.
You should be able to find you. How come you're not on Instagram?
I turned in Instagram.
You weren't feeling it?
No, when Facebook bought Instagram, it's like, why have both? It's,
Mm.
it's all Zuckerberg. They're going to make it meta
Oh,
now.
Zuckerberg! And I'm the
They-
opposite because I be on Instagram and I don't really fool with
oh,
Facebook.
it's owned by Facebook now, and they're
Yeah.
going to make it. They're going to make it meta now. It's now metaverse.
Oh,
So they're going to
Lord.
combine them two together. Yeah,
Sounds
That's,
like just more tracking.
they're selling real estate in metaverse. You can buy you a block in metaverse.
Stop it.
Yes, you can. And then when you on the PlayStation while you're doing the video game, you go by Melissa's House of Blues, and that's your business in the metaverse.
And people really pay for that? It's
Yes,
fake. It's
it's
make believe.
advertisement. It's advertisement though. They see your business in the
Wow.
metaverse. Yeah,
So
that's a
did
lot of it's a lot of money though.
so did you buy something?
No, the real estate is too high.
Is it really?
It's
Because you can
yeah,
have your
it's like the square footage in real land.
Oh my gosh, that's deep.
Yeah, it's buying it up. But it's when you're racing cars or whatever on the
Hmm.
metaverse, you go right past, your business.
Wow.
You can buy a whole block.
So everything is advertising
Yeah,
and
everything
marketing.
is digital verse.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Everybody got to catch up. Everybody got to catch up.
Gotta catch up. I feel like there's stories you did not tell, Dink.
Which
But
ones?
that's all right. I mean, I'll just have to have you on again.
Which ones? You
Um, I don't know. Like some high school stories. I
being
mean,
a
you
drum major,
you went to a phenomenal high school.
and I went to an HBCU university as well.
Yeah.
I was a drum major in high school and a drum major at college at Texas Southern University, and it was quite a thrill.
It was quite a thrill.
No, well, that's how I paid for my education on the band scholarship. All I
Hmm.
had to do was act a fool on Saturday night, and my tuition was paid.
Okay. So it's basically what we see. You was acting like how we see you when you do your like special little things during the show,
Hmm.
except times 10.
Times 10.
Yeah.
What's the
Like you know how you do your little dancing, your shucking, your jiving.
oh, each
it was
show we
it was
try to
it, It was like that, except like times 10 when
Yeah,
you was in high school,
each show
college.
we try to, bring in little gimmicks and make people feel happy and, glad, and because that's what you want, to make people happy and glad.
But I'm saying that's what you looked like back then when you was in college.
Oh,
That's what I'm
oh,
asking. I'm like, I'm imagining that you look like that, except to the times 10, like it was
oh,
even
yeah, yeah,
bigger.
yeah, yeah. We to me, we were undefeated. We didn't lose to anybody. I mean,
Mm,
Florida A&M, Grambling, Southern, uh, Alcorn State, any of them, we whooped them. We whooped them really bad.
yeah.
Yeah, we. I mean, either on the road or in Houston. When they came to Houston, we ran them out of the stadium. The
Dang. Well, who
ocean
knew?
of soul. The ocean of soul.
Ocean of Soul. And I'm like, who knew that when you picked up a saxophone at 10, fast forward X amount of years, this is where you would be?
Yeah, I never. Hey, but my mom couldn't really afford it because she was buying when we were doing these talent shows. She was buying all these outfits for us to dance and go to these talent shows.
Mm-hmm.
So when I finally asked her for a saxophone, she was like, oh, "I'm gonna get it for you, but boy, you better play it." And I'm not playing with you. She did like this. You better play it, and I'm
Mm.
not playing with you. You know how they hold. Listen to
Mm-hmm.
me. Listen. Okay, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play it every day.
Well,
Because I mean, we got the, we were struggling just like any family. It was rent to own,
mm-hmm.
and the $45 a month is a lot of money, man. To rent a saxophone for a 10-year-old boy. So
Mm,
she did it. The rent to own. We kept paying off, and then once you pay so many payments, it's yours.
mm-hmm.
So that was my
See,
first saxophone.
and you owned it,
Yeah.
but you didn't keep it. You don't have it now.
No, when I got to college, I got the real one. That was a student model. You can't. I have, got to
Mm-hmm.
have professional horns now. You
Yeah.
can't. They're expensive, but you can't. Yeah.
All right. So leave them with one little nugget or piece of advice for somebody that's looking to do music for the rest of their life. What would you say before we get off? What would you tell them?
Make sure you love it,
Hmm.
because if you don't love it, you're gonna quit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You gotta love it. I mean, you're tired, you're sleepy, hungry. You gotta love it to just keep going. If
Yeah.
you don't love it, you're gonna say, "Forget it. I'm tired. I'm getting something to eat. I'm tired." But if you love it, you'll stick with it.
Yeah. Y'all heard it from Dink. He said, if y'all love it, you gonna stick with it. Oh, do you want to tell him how you got the name Dink? Because it's GD Henderson, y'all, but he also is known as Dink. We'll tell that
Well,
before we go.
when I got to Hollywood, I dropped the Y. I don't want to be walking around.
It was Dink E.
It's Dinky. My mom, they call you. You've been there, Oklahoma. Everybody called me Dinky. But when I got out here, I dropped the Y. I was like Dink, and but the name came before. It took. I was almost 15 years old before I hit 100 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's how skinny I was and
Mm-hmm.
little. So the Dinky, it was like little Dinky. That was my
Miss Dinky.
Dinky. I was at Booker T. Washington High School when I finally hit 100 pounds. I was 15.
Wow.
I was 15 years old. I was
Dang.
a buck eight at 15,
Okay.
108 pounds.
Yeah.
So that's how I got the name.
That's how we got the name. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I thank you for sharing some of your story. Um, we're gonna have you on again because eventually we're gonna be live and local, so we'll do something live and in person.
Okay.
But as we wrap up, y'all, you have been listening to GD Henderson, also known as Dink. And you can check out more of his music and his events, the things he has coming up, what's going on at gdhenderson.org, right?
Yes. And you could pick up the album on Amazon. You can pick it up at Pandora. You can stream it. It's on Tidal. It's on Spotify. Just go look for it. Funk, Sweat, and Tears.
Funk, Sweat, and Tears. They can get the second album also in all those places, right?
Yeah, that's Funk, Sweat, and Tears. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
what about the first one?
Let's Face the Music.
Face the Music.
The first album was called Face the Music. Yeah.
So y'all check out both, okay? You got to get your GD Henderson DINK library up and popping.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Get the catalog going.
Get the catalog, all right? Get the catalog. I've been your host, Melissa Cherie, and you've been listening to For the Artist, which is a podcast brought to you by Creative M Projects, a 501c3 tax-exempt organization, helping young artists develop from the inside out. So until next week, y'all, you already know what it is. I want you to keep creating from the inside out. Peace.
Way to go, Melissa.